almost end of January, and we were just complaining about, well, not complaining, but it was just the new year. You feel me? But a lot has gone down since then. A lot has gone down since the new year. You know, been a journey. You feel me? Well, in the new year, I was in North Carolina, so then coming back down to Florida. Spending some time with the fam, and then heading back here. First week of school is done. That junk is, man, it's rough. But honestly, today's MLK Day. I have a dream. I don't really know what else to how all black and brown kids. I don't know how it goes after that. No disrespect to MLK. I respect him heavy. But yeah, we got sick yesterday just going on an adventure, because I was like, bro, it looks like it's literally about to be a hurricane out there, and I knew it was a cold front. It's because hella wind. So I was like, alright, put on like 2 layers of pants, put on some socks, put on this shirt. Actually, I don't know why I'm wearing it again. This shirt, another shirt, which is a long sleeve, a jacket, and then a rain jacket on top of that. And guess what? A motherfucker got sick. So I don't know if it was from that or if it was just impending doom. But this morning I literally woke up and like my sinuses just be going to the back of my throat. I don't know what is going on. Like, that's just how it is. And I literally was like, it was a war this morning in the shower. It was war. But once you get some hot water going down your neck and down like this side on your head, just clears it all up, and then you're pretty much good to go. Getting a little stuffy now, but I just don't have anything to blow my nose in. But yeah, enough about me. We'll get to this gospel real quick. I'm excited to get into today's trade recap. Anyways, the gospel is from Mark. Like usual, the disciples of John and the Pharisees were accustomed to fast. I'm about to start going on a tangent, but I just gotta finish this. People came to Jesus and objected. Why do the disciples of John and the disciples of the Pharisees fast, but your disciples do not fast? Jesus answered them, can the wedding guests fast while the bridegroom is with them? As long as they have the bridegroom with them, they cannot fast. But the days will come when the bridegroom is taken away from them. Oh my gosh. And then they will fast on that day. No one sews a piece of unshrunken cloth or an old cloak. If he does, its fullness pulls away. Like the new from the old, and the tear gets worse. Likewise, no one pours new wine into old wineskins. Otherwise, the wine will burst the skins, and both the wine and the skins will be ruined. Rather, the new wine is poured into fresh wineskins. Alright, I'm not gonna lie, this is a complicated one. I'm about to go to GBT. But first I want to get into like fasting. I did a fast. Like, I think it was when was it? I think it had to be like 2 months at this point. Sometime in October. I don't know if it was in November, but it's besides the point. It was great. I did a 36 hour, I think. So like one day, so at night, whole day, and then I ate that next morning essentially. So like halfway through. So like you could say, so imagine it's Monday, like today. I would have fasted all of today, and then I would have fasted like half of Tuesday. That's what I think I did. That's what I think. I don't know. I can't remember, to be honest, to be like exact, but it was really good. You realize that, after you wake up on that, no, it was 2 days, bro. It had to be 2 days. I gotta look it up because I'm interested. But what I'm trying to get at is it was literally the most refreshing thing ever. Your body realizes that there's no need for food, so it literally just shuts off. And you're like, whatever. Give me a second, bro. I don't know. But I swear it was like 30. I don't know if it was 2 days, because I definitely didn't have food for one day. And then that next day, I think I didn't have food. And then, so maybe 2, 48. But that sounds like too much. I'm getting ahead of myself, but it don't matter. It does not matter. Let me put this into GBT, because I think this is basically talking about renewal, like becoming renewed. And also, it says when I'm no longer with you, when I'm taken from you, which is essentially his death and then the resurrection, that's when fasting is necessarily, important, I should say. I mean, I'm just gonna see what this is. Okay, so fasting in Judaism was associated with mourning, repentance, and longing for God's intervention. They asked, or he said, can the wedding guests fast while the bridegroom is with them? The meaning is that a wedding is a time of joy, not mourning. By calling himself the bridegroom, Jesus is quietly claiming a divine role. Because, he is God himself, so he is actually present. God is actually there. They're not longing for his intervention. The days will come with this foreshadows exactly his death, his absence, and then the return of fasting, which is essentially, putting your mind only to God. Essentially, that's what I did. You can fast for multiple reasons. You could fast for, your health, to be just healthier. Cleanse your body. Maybe if you want to see how long you can go without food, or you can do like spiritual fasting. And essentially that's what I did. Spiritual. I drank tea because I didn't have enough electrolytes. I remember, I drank tea. That was my caffeine, kind of, and something. I was just like really sulking. But now that I know the feeling of being hungry for that X amount of time, it's pretty solid. So yeah, I did, spiritual fasting, which is essentially when you're like longing, for God. You're opening up your heart, you're opening up your mind to receive God, and appreciate that, like, food and water, that shit, like, is like, I guess that's all you really need. But you don't even need that. Like, you can have water and no food and you can be perfectly fine. Maybe you're not going to be, full on running marathons or something like that, or feeling like 100%, but it makes you realize that, limit myself from those worldly desires, materialistic desires that essentially are not needed. You feel me? Like, that's kind of what it taught me. There's really no need for a lot of stuff. Like today I was in the gym, and like, I know this kind of doesn't really relate, but I was like, all these girls around here, this and that. Like, if I really wanted to, I guarantee I can find a chick. It don't matter if she's like a 10 or a fucking 6 or 7. I'm not going below a 5. I'll tell you that right now. But like, I could be on the lookout, but I just realized I'm like, there's a time and a place for everything, and there's no need. Why am I going out of my way to be some simp for some chick that obviously loves the attention? Like, this, it's so revealing once I think I get to this age. I realize, how much people long for other people's, attention, almost, per se. Like, listen to me, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, almost acknowledge another person. And people love that, essentially. But that's what kind of fasting helps. It helps you detach from all that worldly stuff and focus straight on God, in a sense. Focus on God and what you're really trying to get out of it. I'm about to, like, I need to hiccup, but as I can't. But yeah, so that's kind of the fasting part. Unshrunken cloth and an old cloak. The old cloak is the old religious system. The new cloth that Jesus is teaching in the kingdom he brings. That's actually pretty interesting, because I was kind of confused when he was saying that stuff. But yeah, because when Jesus came, that was a renewal of essentially the Old Testament. Like, hold on. Like, I just want to make sure, because I don't like to, because then, not literally, bro. Sometimes I have to, like, clarify to GBT. But, new wine and old wineskins represents the same truth more forcefully. New wine is the life and power of the reality of the kingdom of God. Old wineskin is the rigid structures, mindsets, and practices of the people. And that's why they're like, what are you doing this? What are you doing this? So yeah, he came to create something completely new. And that's what Jesus was like. The G for that, man. He the G. Yeah. So the kingdom requires new hearts, new structures, new way of being. In order to be, a child of God. I mean, we're all children of God, yes. But, like, I think in order to truly represent Jesus as your Lord and Savior, there comes with a renewal, and that comes with a new heart, a new structure to your life, a new way of operating. You feel me? Like, new heart essentially. Doing things for maybe others that you haven't done before. New structures in your life. You stop, doing destructive habits that essentially drag you down. New ways of being, the same kind of thing. Stop being almost lustful. Stop doing drugs or just stop drinking, stuff like that. And yeah, in short, Jesus don't fit. You don't fit Jesus into your life. Your life is remade to receive Him, which is honestly factual. You feel me? It's very factual. So yeah, when Jesus came, He essentially rewrote the Old Testament, and that's basically what happened. In the Old Testament, there was prophecies. Isaiah, this and that, Abraham, Moses, all those went down the line, and eventually, in preparation, all that was kind of in preparation for Jesus. And then when He came, there was no longer the atonement of sins by shedding blood and essentially sacrificing lambs and stuff like what they did in the Old Testament in order to repent for their sins, because Jesus came and died for our sins. And that's kind of the point that I'm trying to make. He reinterpreted, refilled, and transcended it. From law to fulfillment, I have not come to abolish the law, but to fulfill it. I don't know what that's saying, blah, blah, blah. Just gonna go to the bottom. Alright, well, whatever. Alright. From expectation, that's just a bunch of random stuff. But you kind of get the point I'm trying to make, Jesus Christ, that's all it is, man. Alright, let's get into this trade recap. I feel like we're in that for a minute. This kitty right here, she laying down, soaking up the sun. Oh my God. Yeah, you damn right, kitty. She my little baby. Alright, let's get into today's trade recap. I'm hyped for this. MLK Day. I have a dream. We all have dreams, right? So, I loved today. Today was by far one of the best. Like, in general, bank holidays and no news Mondays are my favorite days because they're algorithmic. And damn, bruh, my TPs were like my final kind of ultimatum. Relatively highs up here. All that I wanted to see get tapped into today. Regardless, coming into the session, larger time frame. Let me see what ES is doing, to be honest. Dang, we just rallied straight up. That would have been a nice one too. So, in this situation, we open up, new week opening gap, bearish as heck. I'm like, yo, what is this? What's going on here? You take out this daily low, this daily low, this daily low. On NASDAQ, S&P, we lag behind heavy with that low. So immediately I have an SMT in my mind. I'm like, yo, I'm probably going to be bullish, realistically. I'm interested in ES taking out its internal sell side and then to move higher. I want to trade ES because it had that bullish SMT. My bad, y'all. My bad. God dang. I'm sorry. Lord, for using the name in vain, but oh my gosh. I don't know what's going on. Alright. I feel nice and toasty. Alright, bet. We got that SMT down at the lows. 4-hour time frame. We have this one for value gap, a 2 for value gap, and then we have another one right here that was going to get created at 10 a.m. Keep in mind, this is what I was essentially anticipating her to see it. Once I get up in this lower time frame, I'm expecting a 4-hour fair value gap. When you blow your nose and you can't hear anything? That's exactly what's going on right now. Maybe not hear anything, just I sound muffled. All right. So then coming down into basically open. What is it? 7:30 a.m. Break lower. 9:30 opens right here. Okay. So every 9:30 open, right there. I can just use this line. I'm pretty dumb. This indicator is really nice. Whatever. 9:30 opens. We have this low right here. We market structure shift below it. Okay, like I don't really care about. I wanted to see all this else get taken, and this is where I'm going to get a little more into the nitty gritty of kind of trading this model. The intermediate term highs and lows, market makers, buy models, sell models. is that you have to use a line chart, and trust me when I say that, you know, it's you're gonna be surprised. So we rally lower into 9:30 open, and we get a market structure shift right here on that 15-minute time frame. We just melt lower, take out all of our sell side at London lows, and then we get that SMT. You know, I keep on dragging down the SMT. Eventually, once we get the rejection, that's when I can kind of leave it on there and confirm it. So yeah, we have that going into the session. So we start rallying up, and at this point, you know, I'm confident. I'm pretty confident that we're gonna go higher, but I just don't have the conviction to enter. You know, and in this case, you know, I wanted to see potentially, you know, like come up in here, a fair value gap, move higher, use first presented, but we just put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Barely, we didn't even tap into first presented. Rallied higher, rallied higher, and I was like, yo, if we take out this, like, what I'm just gonna have to take a short retracement and then maybe long going into the session. But then, you know, we put on a relative go high, so I'm like, all right, thank the Lord. It still gives us an opportunity. Now this is where I want your brain to go. I need to get rid of this garbage. What is that? Wait, was that a 15-minute wick? I think it's a 15-minute wick. I just don't wanna. Oh yeah, the order block. Okay, that doesn't matter. I can get that out of there. Bam. All right, bet. So, what am I doing? Waves high, low. I'm marking out premium and discount. It's as simple as that. There's nothing else I need, especially if we have this rally up, rally down. Premium and discount is literally going to be the sauce. What happened on Friday? Literally, I mean, this is crazy. First of all, right here, literally. No, oh, it happened on ES. Yeah, it happened on ES. I'm not even gonna pull it up, but it was another came down retracement into a discount and then head back lower. You know, it's all part of the plan essentially. So yeah, once I saw that rally up, I'm like, yo, I'm waiting for a discount. There's no way I'm along this shit without it. So we got the discount right here. I had a buy limit, basically at discount. You know, I'm like, bro, because if I do this, bro, come on, man. If I do this, you know, at discount, because I know that this low is protected, and I'm about to get into why. You feel me? This is exactly the reason why. Just let me do this real quick. I know that low is protected. If I want, I could target a 1-to-1 from this discount, because the discount, this is not my my strategy. You know, there's nothing to long in here unless you get to a larger time frame. Light bulbs should be going off in my own head. These larger time frames. So I was looking for a 1-to-1 from here, and I did place it. You know what I'm saying? I placed that motherfucker. $250 or $300 risk. This is where it comes in. Market maker buying model. What do we need? That a 15-minute market structure shift. Or in my opinion, I need a 15-minute market structure shift or a 1-hour market or both. You know, in order to be high probability. You go on this line chart real quick. We have a high, low, higher, lower high, lower low, higher high than this high. I can expect this low to be protected, and we can put in a short-term low in this area to then roll higher. You're not going to see the wicks with the line chart. You're only seeing candle closes. So yeah, what do we get? That market structure shift with this candle close above this high. Then what are we doing? 5-minute is cleanly retracing into 2 fair value gaps, and same with the 10-minute. This is what I use, 10-minute inverse fair value gap. It's perfect. Double fair value gap. We used it on the way. We didn't use it on the way lower, but if you go down to 1 minute, 50% to encroachment, broke above, tapped into it. I'm like, yo, this is gonna take out this liquidity in this 5-minute, in this 10-minute fair value gap. We're going to the highs. Okay, it's as simple as that. Then, yeah, basically I enter, you know, long. We get that 1-minute market structure shift, so I go break even. I'm like, you know, basically there. I'm confident price is not coming back down there. That's the thing. I'm confident price is not coming down there. We get our market structure shift. Once we get this fair value gap or inverse fair value gap rejection, along with this 10-minute fair value gap rejection, I take another long at the high once we break it, and then we get just some fucking down close candle. Stops us out, break even. I entered 2 more here and then 4 down here, so it brought my position to this low, which is what I wanted to trail my stop to. So yeah, got stop break even there. And then I realized, yo, this is manipulation, clear manipulation. We definitely trap shorts. So I just longed again, put my stop loss below this low. I think it was below here. Yeah, it was like at this bounce price range. And then, because this 10-minute fair value gap is still in play. So down here somewhere. And then we came back lower, entered more there once we get. So see, if you look right here, high, low, higher high, lower low, higher high, we can now expect a retracement into a fair value gap. And what is the time? The macro time. That macro time sends us into our 4-hour fair value gap that got created at 10 a.m., which was right there. So, yeah, and then I was gonna leave some runners to go higher, but like I said, I only had 6 cons on, and I added 2 more here. So that's kind of how it is. But yeah, really, really clean day in my opinion. Hindsight, I really wished I kept this position and just risk 500 like I did, or like I should have, instead of 250, and then just let it ride, because we know that this low is protected. There's no way we're gonna come all the way back up, leave 1, 2, 3, 4 highs. There's just no way. I count this as a high because it's still in conjunction with these. This don't matter if we take liquidity there. There's still orders above this high, still same above this high, this high. So yeah, and this is an entry completely based off discount and the 5-minute. So it was really, 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 really easy. And I wanted to target London high, but like I said, I'm just trying to get my money and get out of there. Not trying to deal with that, especially with that break even. That was just a boring break even. Because if I just kept my stop loss, my position was here. If I kept my stop loss below this low, because I knew this low was protected after we came in on this 10-minute time frame, you look and see, broke through there, and then we have a bullish close on this 10-minute fair value gap. So yeah, you could on inverse fair value gap, 10-minute close bullish on that time frame. So yeah, no top step trade though. I don't know why I didn't place on the top step, to be honest. This was just a funded day, to be honest. It's kind of backwards. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thought this video has been going on for a little minute. It's already 2 o'clock, bro. It's already 2 o'clock. Like, the time just be flying, bro. I swear. Like, I just woke up. I swear. But yeah, that's all I got for y'all. Great gospel today. Really nice price action. I honestly hope this sets out the stage for the rest of the week. I am seeing potentially us keep on heading down to these lows. That'd be kind of nuts. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we just start dumping, that's 5%. That's a lot. But we have a high, low, higher high, lower low, short-term high, and then now we're breaking lower. We took out our larger time frame liquidity. So this could be a potential liquidity sweep, larger time from SMT, and then run to the highs. Kind of the way it could be. I'm gonna let you on in a second, kitty. We're about to go. But yeah, no, that's pretty much it. If you look at this right here, this has been brutal. What is this? The 31st? All of January has been stuck in this range. You about to go. Just give me a second, please. I love her, but she crazy, man. But yeah, no, I'm hyped. We'll see how this week goes. Starting off the week good. And yeah, that's all I pretty much got. I will see y'all whenever. And one thing I wanted to say, like, I'm trying to remember what I was gonna say. Obviously, premium and discount, but when we have legs like this, you can't FOMO on this whatsoever. You just can't FOMO. Like, and even if I entered down here and we ran to the highs, I would have been disappointed in that win. Essentially, I'm not disappointed in that win, but I'd be like, long term, that's not sustainable for me. And that's what I realized today. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna make stupid decisions that impact. Kitty, what do you want? I'm not gonna take decisions that impact weeks of my trading time that I've sat in and put in, and then say for example I took a loss. Say for example I longed here, took a loss, and then longed or just, what I'm saying, just screwed up and tried to break rules, do this. It just sets you back. I was watching my videos. This is what I'm saying. I was watching my videos from summer of when I was passing accounts that led me up to a payout, and it was literally just stop being addicted to the charts. If you stop being addicted to the charts, you're gonna find success, because the charts they should be a chore. They shouldn't be enjoyment. You feel me? I enjoy seeing at the charts. But if you're overly hyped to be coming into New York Open and placing trades, you're doing it wrong in my opinion. And that's what I've seen, you know, kind of around social media. You know, the more hype you are to trade, the more naive I think you are. Just because, you know, you're not thinking about today, you're thinking about the future. And that's the thing in trading you can't do. Yes, I'm trading for tomorrow. You know, I want the account to be there. I want to trade another day. But if you're thinking about, oh my gosh, like where am I gonna be in a month if this trade don't work out, like, or where am I gonna be if this thing don't do this, whatever, all this future worry, you're only holding yourself back. That's just how it is. You know, that's the main lesson I got from there. So yeah, like, you know, you break one rule today, you're off. You're done. You break it again, you're done. You don't break it, and you take a loss, you're good. Then you start winning. Then you have consistency, because the reason why it's so hard to see some kind of consistency, like what's his name? I'm not gonna go to him. phill.tradez. This guy, you know, at first when I started watching him, you know, he was lost in the sauce. But then as soon as he actually adopted his rules that he said he would adopt, you know, and follow them to that point, you know. Now he's taking, I think, his third payout or whatever he's talking about. I don't know exactly, but it's the time that it gets to that payout that is so difficult, because, you know, the challenge is, you know, oh, you don't take it seriously, you don't do this, you don't do that. You know, it's easy to get lost in today, is what I'm saying. Like, you want to trade for another day, but you need to understand that today is only one day. You know, you take a loss today, just know that if your model, and if you have enough conviction in your model, which you should, you know, you shouldn't be trading in this if you don't know your model. All right, I'm gonna take you outside. Here, come here, come here, come here. All right, she is not having it. You know, you should have conviction in your model. You should know that it works long term. You should know certain things. You know, and there's no element of surprise, and this is what I like, kind of what I'm trying to lead to. I'm just kind of getting all over the place. I'm in this shit here while I can. I know it's getting a long video. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got. I'll see you tomorrow for January 20th trade recap. Yeah, I'm hype. We'll see how it goes. She's about to jump. She's about to jump. Come on, say hi to the kid. No, y'all can see her. Come here. All right, I'm gonna let her out. I'll see y'all whenever. Peace out. Good day.